Hey guys, Coach Harry Wilmington here, and today we're going to be answering a question from a guy who wants to know, how can you tell if you're just lonely or genuinely attracted to someone? I think this is an intriguing question, and so I want to read through it and give some of my insights to this guy. So he says he's 21 and in college, and he's about to be done before blah blah. Okay, I've been single since I was 18, but have tried for relationships since. But also did go around and experience life, meet people, one-night stands, etc. Well, in the past, I met someone and they're cool. She has an awesome personality and is pretty cute. We have known each other for years now, talked a lot, and almost got into a relationship together a few times. Now I am older, much better mentally, and I know more of what I want. Well, I'd be interested to know, he says he almost got into a relationship with her a few times. What stopped that from happening? Were you not ready for the relationship? Was she going through things? Like, what was it that resulted in you guys not getting together during those times? There's no right or wrong answer. I'm just curious as to what that was. Anyway, he says about a month ago, she invites me to eat and go with her to town. We go to do that, and after, she breaks down and talks about how she has always cared and even said she loved me. She told me to give myself time and think about things. I just want to pause here because I've done a few videos recently for guys that are like trying to overly text a woman and trying to, they get emotional about, well, I want to be with you, or you're not showing me affection and blah, 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 blah. And this is what it looks like when you're not obsessed with the woman and you're patient and almost darn not paying her attention, is that she, of her own accord, will start saying things like, I want to be with you, I love you, can we be together? I tell you guys this all the time, and I'm going to actually do a show that really deep dives into that. But for the meantime, I just wanted you to hear and see what that looks like. Continuing, he says, well, it has been a month later, and I've been thinking about it a lot. She is pretty and funny, and I keep thinking about her little quirks and isms she does and all. I don't know if I am just lonely or if I actually want to do this. I've been nervous and scared of relationships for a while, but I want a person to be intimate with, not just sexually. I've turned her down before, but that was during my wild times. I was going around other people. Now it's summer, I just work and have a lot of time to think. For a long time, I was stuck with those what if someone better comes along right after type of thoughts. Now it's pretty well done, or pretty well gone. I just don't know if I actually want her now or if I just want to be around someone. I more or less just need to vent this out and talk to people, as I can't really talk to friends about this. So I have a few rambling thoughts that I want to respond to this guy about. So for starters, I think a big problem this guy is having, to be honest with you, is there's such a focus on our culture about love being equated with infatuation and these high feelings of lovey-dovey, Disney feeling type romantic, grand gesture type romance. And so I know for myself that if there were times early on where I wasn't feeling that, I would think, well, maybe I'm just not interested. Or let's say I was with a woman and those like strong Disney style feelings of romance like weren't there anymore, which is, they're typically there during the honeymoon phase, but they do start to fade away as you get to see the person more and more. I start to think, well, am I no longer interested because I don't now have that droopy-eyed, lovey-dovey feeling that I once had. I still care for them, and the love I have for them feels different, but it's not the infatuation love. And so it's because this guy's listening like, he finds her quirks cute, they get along well, whatever, but he's probably thinking and feeling, well, I'm not feeling these overtly infatuation type feelings for her, therefore, do I really like her? And that's why it's important to recognize that love isn't just about those feelings. Again, those are honeymoon phase feelings. And trust me, after 6 months to a year of you knowing a person, those heightened feelings of love and romance are going to go out the door. And so this is why it's important to recognize that love in and of itself is not just about the feeling, it's also about commitment, because we'll talk long-term prospects. If you're thinking you want to eventually wipe this woman up or go with her for the long haul, then that is a day-to-day decision that you're making to stay with that person. And that kind of thing doesn't have the lovey-dovey feeling associated with it. Like you getting up on a day when the girl you're with is like, on her period, or is, you guys had a fight the night before and you're getting up in bed with her and you're like, I have to decide with this chick again. Oh my God. Okay, you know what? Fine. I'm still in it to win it, so I'm going to choose her today. That kind of love is not one that has strong feelings associated. That's one that's like, I made a commitment and dedication to this person, okay? And so that's the kind of thing, though, that comes with time. So you won't necessarily know whether or not you're going to have feelings of wanting to be committed to somebody until you like date them for a while and get the chance to hang out with them and then see if you're feeling things, if the chemistry's there. And then on a day-to-day basis, if you're getting up every day and saying, I still choose to be with this person. And again, you won't know that until you get in. But all that to say, so clearly she likes him. We know that she is wanting to be with him, and that's totally great. There's no right or wrong answer for this guy on if he wants to get with her or not. If this guy decides he wants to get with her and try to see if they can date, fantastic. He might decide, you know what, I like these things about her, but ultimately, for whatever reason, I'm just not thinking that this is going to be a long-term situation. And knowing how she feels, I don't want to mess with that, so I'm not going to get into it. That's also a fine decision. But here's another thing I want to touch on, because I used to be this exact same way, in that we sometimes are trying to future think how things are going to be. And a lot of times we're wrong on that, you know? And so I say that because he mentioned the part about like, he says, for a long time I was stuck with those, what if someone better comes along right after? And so sometimes you might be thinking, well, I like her and I want to be with her, but God forbid somebody else come along. I didn't have to go through the process of a breakup. I have to tell this person that thought that I was going to like them for the long haul that I'm no longer interested. Dudes, there's always a chance that's going to happen. Because think about this. He's 21. He's going to meet women. In the grand scheme of dating, you're probably going to get in your lifetime, you're going to really be fully committed to one, ideally one, but maybe two or three at the most, okay? Depending on how many, if you go through a relationship and divorce cycle or whatever like that, which I don't want you guys to do, all right? But that said, there's always that chance out there that this could not be your person. And I think sometimes as men, we try to pre-think about, well, okay, is this person I can see myself breaking up with? Because if so, then I don't want to do this thing, this and that. But again, in the moment, you don't know. There was a couple, back in college, I went to this church and there was this guy that had this huge crush on this woman and he was just relentless in going after her and they finally got together. But to hear one of my other friends tell it, she wasn't all that interested in him. And so I imagine when he asked her to marry him, she was probably thinking, I mean, I kind of like him, but I mean, long term, could this be a thing? This is net. I don't know. I'm not sure. She went along with it, and now they got like 3 or 4 kids, and they're happily married as punch, okay? But she could have predicted that. She could have been like, well, I mean, I only kind of sort of like him maybe, and so if we get married, then we might get divorced and so blah, blah, blah. And that's the reality of dating and relationships, is that you could try your best to try to protect the other person from actions that you might do in the future, but that really is a form of control. It's like you trying to say, I want to make sure that this person is never going to be mad at me and is never going to be hurt by me should I change my mind about something, okay? But what if you guys get together and then she changes her mind? She's saying right now, I so love you, I so care for you. You could get into a relationship with her and then she be the one to change her mind, or she be the one to find somebody else. That is always a possibility. So you can't be afraid of getting into a relationship with her on the off chance that you might possibly meet somebody down the road later. Realistically, if you get with her and then down the road you happen to meet somebody else, then you got to go through a breakup. But that's going to happen for most of your relationships. The majority of your dating relationships are not going to work out. Because again, if you're looking to try to get one person, it's really hard on that first knockout of the park to knock it out of the park and then like have that be your person. More often than not, what's going to happen is you're going to go into dating somebody with intentions of it being a good time and of you guys being together for the long haul, but then something's going to happen or one of you two are going to start liking each other, the other person a little bit less, and it's going to fall out. That cannot stop you from at least trying, okay? Your only objective in these relationships you get into is to treat that other person the best that you possibly can and to show them love in the best way that you know how and the best way that they're requesting, which is why the whole 5 love languages thing is a great thing to learn, okay? That's all you can do. You can go into this relationship with the best intentions and be like, I just wanna focus on treating her the best I can. and you do that and your best not be good enough. Or you do the best you can and then you realize that she's not giving you what you need. And those things can always happen, but you don't say that and then say, and that's why I'm not gonna try it out. No, if you feel as though you and her get along great, you see a lot of great things about her, you see that she could be a potentially good dating mate, then do that. Don't, I used to do the thing of like, well, if I can't see us getting married, no. It's too many steps, okay? Start at the basics. She likes you, she's saying she loves you, but she doesn't really know that yet because she hasn't been in a relationship with you. So just scratch that from her record, okay? But she has very strong feelings for you. If you feel like you have strong feelings for her or feel like she could be a worthy candidate to date, then I'd say try it out. And I've done this before with women. I say, hey, if they'll come to me and say, I love this, blah, blah, blah. And I'll go back to them and say, hey, you know what? Let's try it out. Let's try it out for like a couple of months and see how it goes. And then in 2 months, we can assess where we're at. I think that's pretty reasonable because if then you're saying to her, hey, you know what? I'm not saying we're fully committed boyfriend, girlfriend yet, but I am saying that there could be something here and I need time to explore that. So let's just temporarily call it a romantic relationship and see where it goes. And then we'll reassess later. So you give it 60 days to see how it goes and then you talk about it. And that's a reasonable way to try this out because that way you can start to be more either assured that she could be the one for you, or you can get the idea that this is why you really didn't want to date her in the first place, or you follow somebody else. But either way, it's saying that you're giving it a shot and you're not doing this thing of trying to out-predict what could possibly happen because you're scared. So hopefully, guy, that helps you out. For more of these shows, go to introvertdatingsuccess.com. You can also go to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/Harry Wilmington. Subscribe. Also, if you want one of your questions answered on one of these shows, write to me at harrywilmington@gmail.com or leave a comment down below this video or any of the other hundreds of videos on my channel, all right? You want to show support, subscribe to the YouTube channel, or you can go to introvertdatingsuccess.com, click on the tip jar tab, and leave a monetary thank you. That's all I got, guys. I'm Harry Wilmington, and I will catch you all on the next one. I'm out. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Introvert Dating Success Podcast. Visit us at introvertdatingsuccess.com for more great tips on attracting women using your natural introvert charm. Oh, yeah.